Kris?
Aquita, every time there's an active shooting in the U.S., a specialized unit at the Austin Police Department debriefs to learn what happened, what went wrong, and what went right. But tonight we have their advice for you. We're talking about soft targets. It's where you work, send your kids to school, go to church, see movies, or have drinks. They are closed spaces with multiple entrances and a large group of people. So if there's an active shooter, you need to have a plan and teach your children that plan to survive. The music, the drinks, the crowds. In Austin, it's the perfect recipe for a Saturday night out. But on Saturday, June 11th, 2016,
Oh my God.
it would turn into the recipe for a killer's perfect target.
Bam, 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 bam. There was bodies everywhere.
You can just hear him gurgling for his life.
50 people killed.
Unbelievable what this man did.
53 injured.
Unbelievable and disgusting what he did to all of us.
At a packed nightclub in Orlando, Florida.
My son, he got shot 3 times.
You could just smell the gunpowder from how many times he was just unloading on everybody.
Amanda Grau survived the Pulse Nightclub shooting, the worst mass shooting in modern U.S. history, but not without her scars. Grau was shot by terrorist Amar Mateen 4 times.
That they were going to hear the sounds of gunfire and they're going to see people running who are bleeding or scared and who are pointing towards where that shooter may be.
Welcome to the Austin Police Academy's active shooter training facility,
To get their stress level up, their heart rate up,
where around every corner
shoot back at them with rubber bullets.
there's a potential threat
I think that's probably as real as you can make it.
to neutralize.
And they hurt and they're being fired from a very close range.
The paint spray in this corner where a would-be active shooter was taken down. The bullets may be fake, but the scenarios are very real.
No, there's no pay incentive. The incentive is that these officers are all very motivated and they want the elite training.
Lieutenant Jason Bryant is part of the CAST unit at APD. That's Counter Assault Strike Team, formed after Columbine.
Really? Have you heard of
Active shooter training changed drastically after the shootings at Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado, revealing the standard police procedure for dealing with shooting rampages in the U.S. was tragically, heartbreakingly flawed.
Shots fired at high school.
Now, instead of waiting for an elite response team, any responding officer will rush toward gunfire, stepping over bodies and bleeding victims if necessary to stop the gunman first. So what should you do if you're enjoying a night out and suddenly shots are fired? The first step, Bryant says, acknowledge the threat.
I've actually talked to a survivor of an active shooter event who told me that she heard gunshots probably a full 30 minutes before she was actually then confronted by the shooter. They had a debate as to whether or not they were gunshots, but they never did anything about it.
Leave as soon as you even perceive a threat. Don't wait to be sure. Look for emergency exits or a window.
Leave and just keep leaving. Like, there's no need to walk out the door and then stop or run to the parking lot and stop. The more distance you create between you and an active shooter, the safer you're going to be.
If you can't leave the building, hide, barricade yourself behind something that locks, like a bathroom, a classroom, or a closet.
So don't run into a bathroom that's unable to be locked, because now you've trapped yourself.
And if you're too close to run or hide,
You need to fight, and to fight with everything that you have.
run, barricade, fight. It could just save your life.
About 20% of would-be active shooters are subdued by their would-be victims.
And if you think it can't happen here in Austin. Did I go? In 2014, a shooter opened fire downtown,
10-4, still shooting.
firing hundreds of rounds into buildings,
Suspect reloaded, back open fire again.
including APD headquarters.
We need to evacuate the main.
In 2015, a shooter opened fire inside the Omni Hotel downtown, killing an innocent man.
He just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time.
In each case, the gunmen were stopped by Austin police officers,
Suspect laying down on the ground.
trained to respond, and now willing to train you for a worst-case scenario. Amanda Grau says if she could go back, she would have run straight out the back of the Pulse nightclub after Omar Mateen shot her for the first time, and she would have kept running instead of running into the bathroom where there were no locks, and she was shot 3 more times. Now, here's a question that we have heard a lot. What about concealed carry? Well, when it comes to how you protect yourself, Lieutenant Bryant had this to say.
So I would encourage any citizen who chooses to exercise that right to go out and get as much training privately as they can so that they understand the full ramifications of using their firearm in a self-defense type situation.
To have CAST come to your bar, school, office, or church for free active shooter training, you can click on the story on KV.com.